friends, it is Danny and today I'm going to be reviewing Dating an Alien Pop Star by Kendra L. Saunders. I was sent this book in exchange for an honest review from the BookTube tours. It's from Crimson Tree Publishing. This is book 1 in the series and it follows a girl named Daisy who has just moved out of her small town life and into New York City, and then she gets abducted by aliens who are trying to become a pop star. I want to say that I liked this book. I do. I really do. I really wanted to say that I liked it because it sounded so interesting, and then I started reading it. And that's where things went downhill. I'm going to be honest with you, this review is not going to be a positive one. It is going to be a mostly negative one. And I did let the BookTube tour people know that when I finished that I was going to be doing a review that wasn't necessarily going to be the most positive about this book, but I do have reasons and explanations. I personally don't remember ever reading this because I don't remember it ever telling me an age for the main character, but apparently this is supposed to be a new adult and the main character is apparently almost 30. When I read this in somebody else's review on Goodreads, when I wanted to see if I was the only one who wasn't really liking this book, that was my reaction. I don't know how this character is considered to be 30 or anywhere near 30. It didn't read that way at all. Like, I thought honestly going into this that it was a YA. Don't really know what you consider this. I think it's paranormal because it's got aliens in it and such. You think going into this you're going to get some crazy adventure story with aliens, and I kind of kept leaning towards like, oh, is it going to be like Lux by Jennifer L. Armentrout? But this definitely read as a YA. I don't know, I've heard that it's marketed as a new adult, but it reads like a YA with smut scenes that I wasn't expecting because it read like a YA. I feel like it should have been marketed towards a YA genre, but then as soon as I hit the smut scenes I'm like, okay, but it didn't read that way. It bugged me the way it was read because Daisy doesn't appear like a 30-year-old, and I don't know how old Griffin and Devin are supposed to be, but they read like 15-year-olds. So how are you expecting me to read this as a new adult and getting the new adult vibe from this? Even the cover looks very YA-ish. The narration really drove me nuts. It's told in Daisy's point of view, so it's not third person, it's first person through Daisy. Daisy is annoying. Her narration drove me nuts. It was one of those ones where it wasn't even like you were reading a book. It was like she was making inner monologue comments as well. And most of the time in first person narration, you get some of those comments and they're okay, but she just bugged me. And then Griffin is the main alien. He's the one that's supposed to be turning into the pop star. He is like a 14-year-old on crack. He's everywhere, all over the place. It's like he's on sugar. He's like a pageant kid from Toddlers and Tiaras. I guess because he's new to the planet, he's supposed to seem like he doesn't understand anything, doesn't know anything. He's very clueless and like oblivion to what people are talking to him about or saying to him. But he just came across as an idiot. He seemed really stupid. I didn't like him. I like Devin more. Devin and Griffin are supposed to be best friend alien people, but they come across more like they have a bromance. You could potentially see a relationship between them at one point, in my opinion. There were some times where it's like, wait, you're supposed to be with her and he's supposed to be with her, but you guys are like having a thing here? What's going on? Because I'm feeling something between you two. Thing is, it wasn't even like a brotherly bromance. It was like a romance. There was definitely some insta-love between characters, specifically Devin with his counterpart. They were like instantly in love and like magically making out 20 seconds after they met. What? And then Griffin and Daisy's relationship came out of nowhere. I don't even remember what part of the book it was, but it was at a certain point where all of a sudden it was like they were fighting and then they weren't, and then they were together and then they were doing it, and then slow down, because I read through it and I'm like, when did this happen? When were you not hating each other? And then boom, Griffin Griffin! I love you, Griffin! Oh my god, Griffin! The book was very jumpy. And it felt like it was taking forever for anything to happen. Like, there were things that were happening, but they weren't very exciting moments. Like, I wasn't overly excited about anything. And at one point I was like, is there anything that's going to be good that happens? Because right now, they're going around, they're shopping for clothes, then a concert's happening. He snaps his fingers and a song comes on and it's his and he's great and... What? It's so jumpy, it makes my brain hurt. After about page 170, I kind of skimmed and then it hit the ending. I did read the ending completely and not just skimming the pages for the interesting bits. The ending really bugged me because it was confusing, for one. Some of the characters make some very poor decisions that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't want to spoil the ending, so I'm not going to go any further into the ending. Just know that it was very confusing for me. Overall, this book just left me really wanting to read something else. The characters drove me nuts, and I'm surprised I even gave it the rating I did, which was only 2 stars. Honestly, I could give it a 1.5 stars at this point. I just was not liking this book. I did give it like the entire book to get good, and it didn't do it for me. I don't think I will be following this series anymore. I'm not sure if it's just a me thing that I didn't like it, or if other people are gonna have issues with it too. I'm curious to see what the other booktube tour people say, only because I know I really didn't like it, and I want to know if they didn't love it or didn't like it at all like me. It's probably been one of my first negative-ish reviews. At one point I had filmed a review for Half Bad by Sally Green, and that was very negative, so I didn't post it at all. I feel like I need to post this one because it's not a good book, but I've read worse. So, I mean, you know, do with it what you will. Thank you again to the booktube tours for letting me be a part of this tour. I look forward to signing up to more in the future. That is it for this review, you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Thank you for watching my video. Hope that you really enjoyed the show. Hit the subscribe button down below and go and read some books.